One of New Jersey's top courses, Stafford Woods, is in jeopardy of closing for good. But there's a petition over at change.org to try and prevent that. This course was installed in 2012, and it completely resurrected this park and made it a very important part of the community. Click the link right here to view the petition and help save Stafford Woods.
Welcome back, disc golf fans, to the 2023 Pdga Professional Disc Golf World Championships presented by LL Bean. We are out here on the Brewster Ridge course for the middle 6 holes. I'm Nathan Queen, again joined by Andrew Fish.
Yeah, kind of a weird format for this round one, mostly because weather was unpredictable and then dark came a little bit early. We only got through 12 holes with this group, but you see in that front 6, Aaron Gossage and Niklas Anttila moving pretty well. Simon Lizotte and Heimburg with a little bit of work to do, but lots of holes left, and this is a 5-round tournament. So getting out to a hot start is great, but it shouldn't crush your hopes.
Yeah, as you see, lots of players tight through the field through that first 6 holes.
And hole 7, 575 feet, a par 4. Pretty severe dogleg left. There's an inside gap, or you can push straight and have a much cleaner landing zone. I think if you take the inside, you're rolling the dice a little bit. Basket perched on a little bit of an elevated green, and it's going to track pretty steeply uphill. You hear the rain has started.
And Gossage just barely able to skip just to the right of those trees. I think he's gotten far enough to look straight down that second fairway.
I think he went so far he's going to have a little Anheuser release, having pushed all the way past the second fairway.
Niklas heading more towards that inner fairway, going to catch one of the trees and kick him down short. He'll be in scramble mode from there. Possible to get a birdie, but still scrambly. Oh, yeah.
Heimburg flying the fairway clean and digs right next to one of the shorter tee pads. You know that means he's got a clean lane up to the bucket.
Clean lane, but quite wet. It is very muddy and soft where that mulch is at right there.
Yeah, good idea to check your footing, maybe even commit to a standstill shot. Lizotte gives height and his disc fast enough to move left, also up near that short tee pad. Here is the inside gap. Niklas has a clean lane up that. Likely hyzer release to snap up to flat.
Yeah, ideally he would have liked that to move a little bit farther right first, but he does get up there outside circle 1. Going to be looking at a birdie.
Pretty good fight to get through some stuff. Heimburg and hyzer. 2 tree kicks and down just outside circle 2. And Simon able to go outside of the tree that you kind of point at and skips off the top of the green, does stay inside the circle. We'll have a comeback putt for birdie.
Yeah, I'd say you can't land in too much better of a spot than Simon was in. He was almost on that shorter tee pad you noted. Going to give him a great line, and as you called, Gossage went a little bit too far and had a very funny Anheuser angle there. Not quite able to commit to it how he liked to. Ended up a bit wide.
Sometimes it's really tough when you can't even see the trees that you're trying to miss on that Anheuser. So now he's left with a jump putt approach, similar to how Heimburg was. Gets up to the front side of the green. That'll be about 20 feet or so for par. Anttila for bird.
And there we go. I said he had kind of a quiet 3 down going. Here he's making some noise. The long circle 2 putt. Good scramble birdie there. Dead center from Niklas Anttila.
Lizotte to match that. Scuffling a little bit after the restart. And able to convert to get back under par.
So Gossage a bit more than you'd like for par, but still pretty good position. It's not elevated much, but something about these rocks and just the little platform that it's on gives you just a little bit of extra, some type of feeling. I don't know if it's nerves or not, but
I think you know it's elevated, but it has a more natural appearance than when only the basket is elevated, and I like that much better.
I do indeed. Moves us into hole 8, another change to the course from previous years. This is now a par 5 with a new tee pad moved down to the right and a new pin position pushed back a pretty good ways. Got a couple gaps off of the tee. More than likely, everybody will go off to the left side. Forehand or backhand plays. Backhand's going to get you a little bit farther and land you on the left side of the fairway, which is where you need to stay the entire way, the way up this extremely long 830-foot par 5.
830 playing like 1,000 probably. Niklas Anttila, to me, that shot looks like he controlled it from his hand to the ground. Every bit of that was perfect. Simon calling for his disc to hold. That sneaks over to the left side. Probably now going to have to lean out and throw a forehand.
Yeah,
Birdie wasn't super common on this hole. Came almost as often as sevens did when I was running through the stats earlier. And anytime you have to burn a shot by being in the woods, it makes it even tougher than par 5.
Yeah, I think this is a hard par 5 without being in the woods, but it is very easy to get in the woods and have to pitch out. And with this, how steep it is uphill, it's almost like 2 strokes having to do that pitch out just because you can't. It's so difficult to get yourself in a good position on a pitch out.
Yeah, no doubt.
Gossage, after some fortunate ground play off of the tee, going to be in pretty good position. Still going to be in the fairway, but a little bit shorter than you want to be after 2.
Yeah, birdie not out of play yet, but will have to throw a long and good third shot. Anttila gets his disc up to flat. He's near where the old basket position was, leaving probably 200 feet of distance, still playing uphill.
Yeah, could have used that tree to the left rather than moving him to the right. I still don't think he's out of position, but farther left on this fairway has been better in any case from what I can tell.
Yeah, until you're within about 100 feet of the basket, I completely agree. Lizotte with the scramble forehand gets about the same distance that Niklas had, though pinched on the right. Heimburg back to that fairway driver, drags it over.
Oh, yeah.
Great progress.
That's where that hole can get pretty dangerous. You saw how close he was to the trees on the left side, having to throw that Anheuser. And you hit one of those trees and kick into the woods. There's those pitch outs we're talking about. Yikes. Yikes indeed. That was not the release he wanted.
Very wholesome emotion, though negative, from Aaron Gossage. Simon kind of has to manufacture a gap over here. Does so very well. All the way up onto the green.
Yeah, nicely done. Been talking bad about that right side the whole time. Simon found him a line.
Niklas gonna throw a stable forehand flat and skitters it up. Pretty much a whisker tickler there.
Calvin also having to go standstill forehand. Gonna catch a tree, but end up inside circle 1.
That thing was coming in hot, Nathan.
It was. Trying to catch that basket again.
And Aaron stabs it in.
What a birdie from range. Seemed like he scrambled down the whole fairway and was able to get the birdie, which is not something I expected to see on this hole.
Yikes, huh?
Yikes. 5 down. There we go.
And now Calvin Heimburg from about 27 feet or so. Also in for the bird. And I think we said a couple times this was a hard par 5. I'm flabbergasted to see everyone make such good work of it here.
Yeah. Simon, back-to-back birdies, going to get 2 under par on the round now. And Niklas just got a tap in. He made this one look the easiest, I believe.
Yeah, Niklas threw it the way that you want to. I think everybody else had to work a little more.
And that's not one I expected to get it, but let's get them diamonds.
Hole 9, the first of 4 consecutive downhill holes, 375 feet, pretty much straight. Mid-range, fairway driver, whatever you can get to move straight. And then check just before the hill begins to start dropping off. Pretty common to have discs continue carrying past the basket if you don't get some good ground play early. Niklas with a little bit of stand up on that, and you do see it skitter over top of the hill somewhere into circle 2.
Yeah, that's one of those scary putts. Quite a bit downhill after this hole. Looks like Simon going down to putter possibly.
And had enough stability on the end to fight back to the left. And well inside the circle. And slight hyzer release on a stable disc. Aaron isn't able to drive it through the gap.
Man, but luckily for him, he squared up one of those tiny little trees in there and just fell straight down and didn't kick off to the left. That'll leave him a better opportunity to try to get up and down for par. We ace running again. No, a little bit short on that one.
But ground to tree to ground, and 20 feet for birdie is Calvin Heimburg. And as you noted, Aaron Gossage stayed on the edge. The woods here, no joke. Like this hole in particular, both the left and right are very thick. But pretty good layup approach. Anttila sure looks like he's going to run this putt.
It's a tough call. Oh, and that is exactly what you don't want to do if you decide to run it. You've got to hit something, as he's going to be putting again now from the bottom of the hill.
And able to convert. I guess you can run anything if you make your comebackers. Nathan, do you feel like with a 5-round tournament, it changes any of the contenders' strategy for what they're willing to go for in round 1?
I think maybe a few years ago it might have been viable to do that, but I think with the attackability of Brewster Ridge and the amount of good players that we have now, I don't think you can change to play for par.
That's fair. Just if Niklas doesn't make that comeback putt, you wonder if that could come back to haunt him and feel like he was chasing strokes too early.
Oh, well, I would have laid that one up. But I mean, like, his if his play is to go for things, then he shouldn't change his play.
Sure, understood. Simon Lizotte. Real quick turkey.
Yeah, gobble gobble.
And Calvin also getting to 3 under. All of our card moving well now inside the top 30.
When you're outfitted for all that's out there.
Even the ordinary becomes extraordinary.
So here's to taking a moment to appreciate every moment. Made outside together.
Moving into hole 10, downhill, 475-foot par 3. I think maybe the signature hole out here on Brewster Ridge. I know it's one of the ones I think of immediately, and I always get excited to throw the shot. One of the ones you want to empty your bag on a tee.
For sure. And everything from mid-range to distance driver in play. Big grassy expanse surrounded by some apple trees at the bottom, as well as some apple trees in the middle. Just gorgeous disc golf hole.
Looks like Simon going fairway driver, trying to use the ground to control the distance, and does so pretty well with the downhill slope. He's going to be just inside circle 1.
Calvin also going to go fairway driver. Starting to see the darkness creep in on some of these shots.
And a little bit early, but it seems that Draco has beat in quite a bit.
Oh, that one's an eagle. That's the flippy eagle, I think.
Oh, there we go. Well, he's had that one a while then.
Well loved.
Yeah, looking at that back camera view, you can really tell how dark the woods are back there.
Anttila. This is dragging to the right. Needs some late stability on the end. Here it comes.
And what a shot. Catches the backstop as well. We've got another bullseye shot here from Nicolas Anttila.
I think if I'm counting correctly, that's 4 bullseyes on this first 10 holes.
Yeah, and one big circle 2 putt.
That is absolutely the way to make your rounds low stress and keep them moving. Couple extra practice swings here for Gossage. And Heiser release. That's going to
Die
to the
out.
left.
Yeah, die out just at the end, though. Pick the correct speed on the disc. Able to stop at pin height. Should have a pretty runnable putt back at the basket. And you see Calvin still being the aggressive player he is, running that very long downhill putt.
And the Goose knew that immediately. Starts to run it down, sticks it high in the chains. That's 2 big putts in 3 holes for him.
Yeah, clean, confident. Circle 2 looking good from Aaron Gossage. Simon Lizotte. Back to back to back to back. 4 down now. Card making this hole look pretty easy as well. 3 birdies.
Yeah, it's not that easy. It's not that easy to know what your shot is doing as it's starting to break back at 450 feet to settle at 475.
Very difficult to control, but so fun to watch.
Absolutely. Another fun shot to watch fly. 620 feet, a par 4 on hole 11. Very downhill. Again, everything from mid-range up to distance driver is in play. Get a shot that moves a little bit from left to right. May have some flex on the end. This right side, the preferred gap. And it's certainly a shot that you can show who you are as a player. How creative, how aggressive.
This backhand play can get very aggressive. Like you were talking about, Simon turning that over pretty quickly, though.
Absolutely have to push it deep into the fairway before it starts breaking. Simon kind of forced the issue, overturning it early.
This has a bit too much height on it, but gonna get down to a pretty good position. Should be able to, it'll be 250 or so from there.
Yeah, certainly a putter speed up shot, and with a clean stance. That counts for a lot on 11.
This looks to be more the shape if it'll drift just a little farther right. But push straight just a bit too quickly.
Yeah, some ping pong in the middle of the fairway. There's a couple of lighter trees that you'd like to drift just in front of, as Calvin is doing. Branch touch helps, and then he is going to skitter down there, probably a jump putt approach for his second.
Yeah, his work on the hole is pretty much done. There's a couple late trees, but like you said, jump putt, if even jump putt approach from there.
Simon fights his way out. That right side, not easy. Aaron's going to try to take a backdoor forehand. That is a viable play down an old service road.
There's so many trees down that way. If you're not on that line, it's pretty difficult to hit. Simon standing in the middle of the fairway. Gonna slide to in the middle of circle one.
Yeah, good scramble, opportunity, and execution. Electing to go with the flex forehand is Niklas Anttila. From what we've seen out of this disc, it's going to have to be pretty Anheuser, and he didn't give it any height at all.
Yeah, just had the wrong nose angle on that. Immediately threw it towards the ground, and he knew it immediately as well. But does salvage it. Gonna tap in his par. He's used to being in that bullseye today.
And Calvin Heimburg gonna grab another birdie. This is Aaron's third now.
He's feeling these longer putts, but he is looking to just lay this one up. Smart play. Easy to catch one of those early trees, leave yourself a much longer putt, and it does slope down a little bit here as well.
Yeah, the wood chips and wetness help it play slower than most years when the hard-packed dirt can be kind of a launching pad. But Calvin Heimburg fixing to gain a stroke on the card. A little bit unusual here on 11, which occasionally gives up the eagle, but a lot of birdies.
Yeah, whole card now. T21 or better. Moving right along into hole 12, another 430-foot downhill par 3. We're going to push it out straight and then catch a little bit of fade here late, try to miss these last two trees on the left. There is some OB that creeps into play long and left that hopefully we won't see come into play, but is reachable, either mid-range or neutral fairway.
Heimburg's going to need a little help to get this to stop. Looks like he does grab that. And this is going to be the final hole of this middle 6. You'll have to tune in tomorrow, as this card is going to tee off again at 7:47 a.m. on Thursday to complete their round 1. Gatekeeper will be getting that coverage out to you as soon as we can.
Simon, a little bit too much height on that one. Feel like this is one of those holes that shapes Niklas's form and lines very well. He likes that hyzer stand-up shot. This is a little bit inside. Did have the correct align or the correct flight, just too far off to the left.
Aaron really likes the stable mid. So he's going to have to make sure he gets it right enough. Does that part, tests a couple branches. And it sounds like the card collectively trying to spot all of these discs.
Yeah, starting to look pretty dark out here in the woods. With the clouds out as well. Can't even quite tell who this is.
I believe it's Niklas. Just by the way he was swinging his putter. And from the void, gonna have to settle for a 3, it looks like.
That's a
Here's
cool-
Calvin Heimburg.
Interesting shot there to see a putter pop out of there. That's kind of cool. And Calvin Heimburg, back-to-back birdies to finish his day, not his round, but finishes off his day 5 under par, making a push after a bit of a slow start.
And Lizotte does stick it for his par. Stays at 4 under. Niklas rushing to tap in here. They know that the round is pretty much going to be suspended after this.
Yeah, the horn is on the way, and they would like to all start on 13. There it is. As they're all able to finish hole 12. Interesting day we've had today out here at Brewster Ridge.
Yeah, being a professional disc golfer often means you got to struggle through some adversity, and nobody's going to win a world title this year without some kind of delay, I guess.
Yeah, and through 12 holes, we have the field tied, as you would expect, as how tight the scores have been this year. Thank you guys so much for joining us out here at Brewster's Ridge.
Going to be a great week of competition out here in Vermont. For Nathan Queen, I'm Andrew Fish.
And we'll see you guys out there.